This is made for radio.
All right, appreciate it. We are, as we look at the 18th hole, and I'm curious how close this shot's going to be. And it's right off the backboard and somehow gets him a few points to go along with it. Joe Massera in it to win it this weekend.
I think we've got, these are switched.
I would love to see adjusted odds for people to bet, yeah.
So right now, Chisholm Woodson is hitting, and it says,
oh, goodness.
It's switched.
Yeah, you have the top screen switched, not the bottoms. And so Mark Gomez to finish out this 29, and this has been backing up. I mean, the first round of this qualifier was not good for him. Shot 23, went 2 better in the following round, and shoots a 29 now. Important round for Mark Gomez. And it looks like Mark McClevich, Evan Scanlon, and Ryan McCook are getting ready to step back up as we go full bore to the left, to the right machine. As Chisholm hits from the fairway. Some guys play fairway. Some guys, great shot from Chisholm Woodson.
Beauty.
All that taking his time works out.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Chisholm's played for a very long time. That's a guy I played with back in the day.
Curator of the old Denver Open that I never really got to go to.
I never went to either, and it was always a tough place to get to. The airport was probably almost a 45-minute to an hour back in the day, a taxi ride.
Lord.
It was just a tough tournament to get to. Never made it.
Just a good, solid shot he's playing from the rough. Tim Glenn.
Andy Haas to finish.
Tough 8-hole as we get ready to go to the 9th hole. This has typically been known to be a swing hole for Golden Tee.
Gino, you're a star up here, man.
These guys, well, that's what happens when you go to Golden Tee tournaments, Chad. Okay, people like get to know you and get to like you a little bit. Guess what's going to happen in the next couple of years? You're going to play a Golden Tee tournament again, not mobile. You might actually play an arcade tournament.
Maybe I'll do a double-double. You pull off a double.
Double dipping.
Yeah, I mean, the love for arcade has never gone anywhere. I mean, it's firmly in my soul. I mean, I will never not love this game. Just time was not on my side. Pandemic hits and pulled me out of the game, and we talked about it on your podcast. It's just it couldn't play it for a while.
Yeah,
and I was trying to ramp up again. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's just very ironic that I played a couple hundred games before the pandemic hit, as I was trying to ramp back up and get into it. But it is what it is.
I'm wondering if Chisholm plays this slow at home. I'm just curious. I mean, did he qualify this way, where he's lining up his vision and doing all kinds of things to help making sure he gets the right line? Which, by the way, is not a terrible thing, especially if it's working for him.
Agreed.
Let's see what Tim Glenn does with a high tee here.
That is going to.
It's got to stop.
Hard.
That's got to stop. He's going to live himself a long putt. It's on.
That's a big right breaker.
Yeah. Oh, a little low. Just a little low. Chisholm to finish with a par front.
It's a big putt for Chisholm.
Yeah. Missed a left 10 at about 40 feet high of the hole earlier, but not seen that in a while.
Nice.
And he'll make it. Solid qualifier for Chisholm Woodson today. He's doing well. Keeping in his element, making every inch of the opportunity he has in his first world championship.
I'm sure the nerves have settled down for him at this point.
Yeah, he's kind of keeping his own moment. If you've noticed, he made his own shirt there, that jacket, or whatever you would call that collared shirt that he's wearing that says the 2022 World Championship on it. That was the old logo from 2019. As we're getting on the 10th hole.
Chisholm taking his time.
As he has, and Andy just sitting there ready to play his shot.
If we had a camera on Andy right now, it might be a little bit humorous.
He's being cool about it.
He is being totally cool about it.
He knows the way he likes to play, and this is taking far too much time for him.
Yeah, every shot with Chisholm has been 30 seconds. Just playing his game. Andy goes up to the machine and knows what he's going to do within 2 to 3 seconds.
Giving some dap over here to my buddy Meow Chopper, the 2018 Golden Tee World Champion. He great qualifier today. Will be in the mix for B-Talk qualifier today. Just good day for him. Good day. He's going to didn't miss this cut.
He will be a monster in the fold tomorrow. He is firmly in the fold tomorrow.
Yeah. Great qualifier for him. One of the first done today as we're still trying to get through some of this qualifier. 96 of the country's best playing in the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship here from the Westgate in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And you see the 2-iron shot as we saw from earlier. Andy Haas, let's see if he can do it, and he executes. Get on up. Leaves himself a similar chip.
That is very similar to what they had earlier. Who had that chip earlier? Luna.
Luna had that chip. And
almost identical.
Yeah, Massera was the one that got wet on it.
Yep. Luna had literally, I bet you it's within a few feet.
Incredible. 248 yards. That means you can't cook a 6. A 4 is too far. And Greg took a wrong shot at it. That's what Greg did right there. He looked right at where this angle that Chisholm's looking at right now, and Chisholm may try to play this.
He's going to take his time.
Yeah, for sure he's going to take his time. I think this is a layup for Chisholm. I think he knows this.
Yep, we're going to take our time here. And he should. I mean, if he's not comfortable with the shot, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
This is the biggest stage you're ever going to play on. Let's make it count. Cuts it around the corner, puts it right in the fairway. Nice. Good layup. If you don't have the shot, you don't have the shot. Why take a chance and do a splashdown?
And Tim's going to do the same thing. I mean, if you're not packing that 2-iron on this hole, then you don't have any business playing.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have any business playing towards it.
Let's see if Tim can attack this hole. Boy, that's a nice shot from Tim Nguyen.
Yeah, great shot. Trying to capitalize on his eagle. I have it while we're watching this, and I got a great comment from a guy named Kelly Ambrose. And Kelly Ambrose was the first money shot qualifier for our World Championship, playing in this World Championship for his very first time. You know, he comes from the world of pool, and when we speak an aspect of community, Chad, the world of pool is a lot more cutthroat than, say, this community, which is people trying to help people.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things going on in the works as far as charitable contributions coming in the future. The pool community, I mean, guys are trying to hustle other guys, or guys, I mean, they don't mind taking your money, and don't matter how they do it. And that's, you know, not so much a knock. It's just kind of how things are, and people are still respecting the pool community. This is a lot different. This is a lot. People are more about helping each other, and just making more feel welcome. And you know, I thought that was a great testimony to who we are.
It is, and it's been like that for a long time. This has been, and you and I have talked about this off camera. We've talked about it on camera. We've talked about it on your podcast, I guess. The best friends I have in this world, a majority of them, and not just a majority, like a vast majority of my best friends came from this community, and lifelong friends that I'll have long after we're done playing this game.
Absolutely. Great comment. As somebody made a comment that you need to come out. But by the way, I don't know if you know this, but Indianapolis will be very well represented at the Carolina Clash this year. So
good.
The post-COVID Clash, as we're calling it. But also known as we're calling that at my bachelor party that weekend. So
I might be there for that.
Yeah, I got some fellas coming into town. They're going to go to dinner with me one night. I may go have dinner with you guys. You know, just be a part of my group before I take my nuptials in November. Misty Jones, if you're sitting at home and watching this, I love you dearly. We'll be home.
The great Ryan Sparks passes us. here on the stage. One of my best friends on the planet. I cannot wait for tomorrow, Chris.
Oh, this is going to be.
We're wrapping up today, but I'm already hyped.
Yeah, we're getting ready for tomorrow. If there's any slow qualifiers happening, we're probably going to move some guys onto some other machines that are starting to open up a little bit as well. The second group is starting to go on machine 3 and machine 4 and machine 5, so they're kind of finishing up their qualifiers. And what's been a great time. I mean, we opened the broadcast at noon Pacific Coast time. We are here 5 local time here at the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship with Chad Trump. I am the Alpha, Chris Longino. Happy to bring you the action for our 11th World Championship in Golden Tee, the 17th playing of the Jim Zielinski Trophy. Somebody will have their name on that trophy when we leave here.
Chills on the arm. I'm really, and it's not a hype machine thing here. Tomorrow is shaping up to be freaking nasty.
Yeah, it is going to be a great showcase tomorrow.
The big names have delivered today.
Yeah. Now, Chad, we got some guys on the 4th course right now, some going into the 5th course. We got to start projecting this cut now. Where are we going to be at come that time? We're gonna shoot to a break after this the course, and then we're gonna bring it home with some Zielinski. But we're gonna be looking at the cut a little bit.
So right along that number, you think it's going to be the 129, 130-ish?
That's my projection. What Adam Kramer asked me at the beginning of the broadcast today, I said 130 to 131. Let's see what we have, and that was a little bit of moon to roam with some good play. But all of a sudden, Baja, and by the way, great eagle from. That was another one of those fairway eagles from Andy Haas in that par 4 that wasn't reachable. So he takes eagle.
He hold that out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the same thing Greg did.
Yeah, and so, no, it's going to be a great showcase of talent tomorrow.
We are about done.
Start getting this.
But man, this
130, 131. That was what we were projecting. So, and Baja's had some teeth today, Chad. Now, Baja, normally the easiest course of the 5, had a little bit of teeth today. 17, a little bit.
17 caught a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
17 caught Luna and Kinza's group. All 3 splashed down on 17. All 3 did.
Oh, wow.
Back to back.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
A lot of these guys playing 2 clicks left and playing a 5 hybrid in. Shots we never played back in the day.
I promise you, I never did.
Well, that's and Mouth kind of called me on it in Dallas a little bit. And he goes, Gino comes from a little bit of old school, so I play directionally at the hole like I was supposed to.
Yeah.
These cats these days and the way they're taught, and it's not bad. You know, you're bringing in all kinds of different angles, whether it's click one right, or a lot of fulls. Some people kind of think fulls are required. It's not quite required. Directionally at the hole, still a great way to go about this game. Mouth still plays that way. And
that's the beautiful thing about this game. There's so many ways to play these holes.
Yeah.
And the more creative your brain is, more comfortable you are with your clubs and the different shots you have. It's just all about imagination. And the best players have some of the best imaginations and the best memories.
That's important right there.
Yeah.
Important right there.
That instant recall. I hit this shot in Dallas in 19.
He's trying to keep himself going. We're looking over here at Andy Haas,
Andy.
And he's just, he understands a shot like this, and
Andy is waiting literally 2 or 3 minutes between each shot right now.
I get it a little bit. You take that much time to get 40 feet away from the hole. I mean, it's I get it a little bit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Chisholm's, and by the way, Chisholm's playing great today. An important putt right now. And he leaves it low.
Andy will clean up the rest of these. Knocks in Timmy's and Chisholm's. Andy, 24 under par.
That's right about a 31 pace right now, Chad.
has just played.
9 wood out.
It's a big one.
A little bit. Oh, look how great this shot is.
Just gorgeous.
Just drops a dime with that 9 wood.
He might hit again in about 3 minutes. Let's see. I've started the timer.
Give Tim Glenn time to hit his shot before Chisholm has to think about it.
Andy takes his hat off. Kind of looking around the pavilion.
Just, like I said, doing his best to get through his round.
Good shot by Tim Glenn. Nicely done.
Everybody has their own style and the way they like to play, and Andy's not letting it bother him as far as his play is concerned.
He's not. I mean, look at the score.
No, the score's fine. This is not his style. Being slow is not his style.
And we talked about being strong mentally, and he's one of the strongest players mentally in the game.
Yeah, taking a soft 6 wood from Chisholm. Let's see what happens here. This can't be too hard. But also got to make sure he cuts it right in between the trees. That worked well.
Oh, boy. Nice shot.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's what he wanted to do.
No, I wouldn't think so, but still accomplished the goal that he needed.
Now get this putt in, Chisholm.
For eagle.
Drills it. There you go. Nice eagle, Chisholm.
Great putt, great eagle, 27 under. In the conversation for the cut. He's there.
And I want to say it again. I understand why he's taking time. He's just got to make sure he hits these, execute these shots.
I'm proud of Mark McClevich. He's kind of pulled it together. He's one better through his front 9 right now.
Mark had one bad round. And we've seen before in World Championships, players can put one bad round aside.
Yeah.
Greg Kinsler with Agave back in the day and still made a top 4 run.
I think it's a mark of a great player, honestly. I mean, to be able to struggle a little bit and to be able to come back.
To reel it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. We just had a beer go down, or a phone.
No, it was a phone.
Okay.
Just Kevin Lindsay and his phone. He's got plenty more.
That's a money man.
Yeah, it's a money man. He can't listen to us. Here we go. Tim Glenn trying to get himself onto that top beer, and with a wind at your back, that's got to be tough.
Settle.
It's got to stop. That's good.
Yep, that's fine. That's perfect, actually. That was never in doubt.
And so a lot of guys, they'll play up to the top of that perch. I do play up there. There's other guys where Chisholm, you see him, he's going to have him a shot that's going to take a really hard, probably, judging by the distance, 3 wood. No, it'll be a driver. It'll be a driver 10.5.
Well, it's something he's comfortable with because he took no time on that shot. It was something he's seen many times. That's what he likes to do. You can tell how he approached the machine.
Yeah, he doesn't challenge that second fairway. Yeah. He's quite comfortable going with that first fairway.
This is coming down nicely. Good shot from Tim Glenn.
And Andy Haas played down there too. You saw that.
That's what Andy does here.
Yeah, 3 wood in. A little too hard. And now Chisholm. On a 27 pace right now.
God, I cannot wait for tomorrow. It's going to be
shots away. This is going to be solid.
Come on back, baby. Nice, Chisholm.
Great shot from Chisholm Woodson.
That was the best shot of the group. Best shot of the group.
Clean eagle. Everybody will take eagle as they're supposed to on a par 5. Any par 5 in Golden Tee, you're hurting yourself if you don't take eagle or better. One par 5 in this year's courses where if you don't take double eagle, you're hurting yourself, which is the par 5 of Monte Ceballos. This has got a little bit of full action writ on it if he wants to. He may go straight at it. Yeah, he's just out there to a little bit. Boy, that seems like it's going to cut a lot. He's going to go after it full, straight up, and just lets.
It's fine. Andy Haas has played tremendous Golden Tee today.
Yeah. And Tim Glenn is not even going to stare at the same kind of shot. This is going to be a baby cut. This is older school. This is,
that is exactly what I was thinking. This is old school Golden Tee, his old school outfit. It's going to feed right down, right? Oh, did he get trapped on that fringe?
He might have gotten stopped up there. It just did not trickle down much at all.
I expected that to fall down.
Yeah.
Maybe another foot. That feeds towards the hole.
And Chisholm.
It would have to. It was a right 9. That would have fed nicely.
I think Chisholm's right now looking at the full.
I want him to hit it. I want to see it.
Well, I think he just kind of saw Andy's shot and said, well, no, he's going to play a high tee, so this is going to be a little different. Make sure he gets all of it.
This is full.
Now, remember, no spin on this. Whatever happens is going to come
Settle.
down.
That's fine.
That's fine. A little hairy putt there.
He'll make this. He's missed a putt. He's not going to miss this one, too.
Yeah.
He'll pour this in. High side. He'll pour it in high side.
And that is money.
There you go. High side putt. Nice. Tim Glenn. There you go, baby.
Excellent putt. As Andy Haas, just a little wipe of the track ball before he hits, and he'll have an opportunity at 31 under. Finally found his rhythm, hadn't he? Yeah, the first couple courses got a little hairy for Andy Haas, but now playing like he always does in this building, quite well.
It's got to be a comfort when you step into this building for Andy Haas.
We love bacon. We love bacon.
Look at this one.
A great shot from Andy Haas.
There's your 31. That 31 is tied up with a ribbon and a bow. It's done.
Great shot. 31 under will be his round. And Tim Glenn to try to finish with a 26 here.
Chisholm Woodson on the tee, trying to finish with a 27. This group would finish 26, 27, 31 if they all finish nicely. Seen two good shots from Timmy and
this is the match
Andy.
play course we're hoping for tomorrow, Chad.
A lot of swing holes.
Yeah, a lot of swing holes here. This is the match play course we're hoping for that we'll see a little bit tomorrow. Doesn't give a great 18 look, although this is on a fantastic line.
Nice.
Doesn't give a whole lot of drama for 18, but all the other holes can fill you in really well. And that will be a one better 31 under for Andy Haas.
Tim will finish out. Chisholm finishes out. And we are done with Tropical here on that machine. As we come back to the broadcast desk, I'm Chad Trump along with Chris Longino.
Winding down the qualifier here a little bit. A lot of guys still have 2 and 1 courses to go. And we're about to fill out this field for the 32 of who is going to play for a Golden Tee World Championship.
And like I keep saying, I just cannot wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is where it's really at. And it's fun watching qualifying, watch how the players play, how they handle their nerves, playing with different groups. But tomorrow is where legends are made, and you can etch your name into the history books of Golden Tee. So we are going to go to a break. I'm going to relieve myself for the rest of the evening. I'll be back with Chris tomorrow evening to wrap up the head-to-head play. But you have a real treat coming your way. We're going to bring Jim Zielinski to this desk, and he will go through the courses with Chris Longino, and I know Chris is excited.
Can't wait.
So we're going to go to break. We'll see you guys later. Chris Longino and Jim Zielinski is next. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship. Alongside the incomparable Jim Zielinski, I am the Alpha, Chris Longino, and just happy to bring this action to you. We're getting ready to finish up our qualifier. Jim's nice enough to come up here and talk to us a little bit about Golden Tee and what's been going on here lately. Jim, I have to believe that you're kind of a busy guy right now. First off, you just developed 3 courses that were actually already courses. I have to believe that's the first time for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was an idea we've had for a while. There's a lot of play value in those older courses, but they were developed on hardware systems that are old, and we have such a great capability of making things look better now with our newer hardware that we said, you know what, why waste a good playing course and let it sit on the dustbin when we could probably bring it back and add new life to it. And, I mean, if we offered that, the older version, I mean, it doesn't look good. And there's, I mean, as anybody who plays older systems, the hardware gets better, the ability of making art gets better. So we said, you know what, let's take the gameplay value of those old courses, add the new art, make them look modern, and we've got kind of a new course, but for anybody who's played those, back in the day, they're the same. I mean, in the process, we actually, you know, when I'm making that, it's the detail, like the measurements, everything is down to the inch. So we don't guess at it. We actually take the old file, mold a new mesh on top of that has better detail, and the actual distances are exactly the same as they used to be.
So just talk a little bit about, I mean, you've been doing this now, what, I guess?
30, well, let's see, 89, 33 years.
33 years. You might be the most important employee in the history of that company. But it's honestly, the work that you've done for a lot of these people, it's incomparable. Just talk about just technology and what's changed over, I mean, not maybe necessarily in particular what's changed, but how things have changed when you first took this job and started making those courses and what you have to use to create these now.
Well, I mean, back in the day, what the nice thing is some of the development software that we've used, you know, to create those is still in existence, and they've developed and added on as we have. So we've kind of kept the same software all along. It's so that's kind of nice. So like we never had our main software that we use like go away and then have to scramble to find something new. So they've been around for that long also, so which has really helped. But I mean, back in the day, there were hardware limitations. We could not, for example, everything, if you played an 89 course on up, completely flat. We had no ability of doing undulations or hills or anything like that, mainly because we didn't have the capability of obscuring the golfer. Like if there was a hill and you would see the golfer through the hill, would look really ridiculous. So we've changed hardware to be able to do more and better things, just like you've seen in consoles like Xbox. The original Xbox could do only so much, and now the current stuff does, you know, better. We've pretty much upgraded our system the same way. Although live it's been our longest stretch. We've run that hardware for the longest period of time. Got a brand new one out now, and 4K PGA courses are involved in that too.
How do they look to you? How do they look to you as far as just visually?
You know, it's fantastic. Even the older stuff, because we up-res everything to a 4K, so even the older stuff looks better. I mean, our graphic cards are better. So if you compare the current 4 courses that we have playing here to those same courses on the new hardware, it looks better on the new hardware.
Yeah, it's first off, I would have to ask, because as we're getting ready to play some of these digitally remastered courses, as this was one of the first ones that you created, right?
Yeah. And it was kind of fun because I had a chance to look back and say, well, what courses do I remember playing really well, and which ones do I like? For me, I like the courses that offer great cut shots on the approach. And I thought, you know what, because you have to know what you're doing in order to get close to the pin on those. If you're, you know, just the straight ahead shots, you know, that's just a no-brainer, knowing your spin, knowing whether, you know, your distances. But when you have bring in the cut shots and the shooting around things, now you have to add on a directional approach as well as knowing your distances and how that affects. That's well, I always like that it's a harder to master shot.
Yeah.
So those are the ones kind of gravitated towards the courses that offered that more.
Awesome. This has been one of your greatest designs. Jim, Tropical Falls this year, I mean, just as among the elites players, love it. Maybe not so much, more novice players, but just bringing back that course this year, I mean, that had to be a home run for you, right?
That was always one of my favorites. I just love playing that course back in the day, and that's part of this, and I hope, I'm glad that translates because, again, I like to be able to be thinking about every shot. And the courses that I find, and I've made them myself, that are boring sometimes are the ones where it's a no-brainer. Hit it, chip it, straight ahead. I want the player hopefully to be thinking about his shot from the tee to the green. And I like the holes that really I love it when, especially here, you'll see at the tee the first look and have a guy sit back and like, oh, how do I play this one? You know what I mean? Because he knows there's options, based on the wind or the cut, and we'll go left or right. I love that because now he's using his own strategy to create, his own performance.
Excellent. I mean, do these guys surprise you still to this day?
Absolutely.
And so,
absolutely.
To this day and what they're capable of?
Yeah. That's like there's a level of hand-eye consistency that I don't have. And you have to have that consistency or else your ball is going to be all over the map.
Yeah.
So,
excellent design. And also one of our favorite ideas that I don't think you get enough credit for, Jim, is the mix-up of the tee box. I believe you were the one credited for kind of refreshing our courses basically mid-year. One of the best ideas I know, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's like at some point they get stale, but you get used to them. And the one thing and it's inevitable, you're going to get courses that are going to become rote. And obviously for this, that's a big advantage, And I like the ability of kind of learning something new. I mean, you come out and it's like, oh, okay, now I have to learn how to play this hole a little bit differently. Yeah. I mean, at some point, they're all going to be kind of the same because you're still shooting at the same fairways and things. But we've got some changes coming in the future that are going to be really cool.
We're going to get to the teases in just a second because our viewership is definitely waiting for this. But I do want to know about the inspiration for a lot of these courses. I mean, all over the world, you've gone from I live 45 minutes away from Asheville, North Carolina, and that's where Cumberland came from.
Yeah.
Just the inspiration of courses, where does that come from?
You know what? I think early on, way back in the day, we just were lucky enough to have 3 different looks, basically like changing the art. And then we found actually through a lot of player interaction and talking to players what they like. We get data, daily data on what they play. We know what areas they gravitate towards, which ones they don't like so much. So over the years, we've kind of really shied away from the stuff that wasn't popular, moved more towards the areas that players like. But then we'll always throw in something that they've never seen before to keep it fresh. So for me, it comes down to a personal thing first. It's like, hey, let's find a cool area. And for me, I do a lot of research on Google Earth, and I go and say, well, that looks like that would make a fun area for a golf course.
Well, it was mentioned to me one time that they've actually offered to send you to some of these places. I don't know if that's
it's funny. Back in the day, I think we were first doing Bayou Bend, and we couldn't get before now our artists create these by hand, but back then we actually used real photographs of trees to make our trees.
Oh, really?
And so Larry and I, my partner, Larry Hodgson, we couldn't find a good cypress and mango trees for the bayou. So we said, well, shoot, let's go down to Louisiana and take some pictures ourselves. So that's what we did, and then we put those in the game. So to this extent, our artists do a great job now where we'll define the area. Like here's where we're going to base our area for. And then they go and they do a lot of research and come up with the trees and the fauna and the things that are kind of indigent, of the area and choose those. So.
So we're walking into just a different world. We're about to walk into with our new platform, the Golden Tee PGA Tour coming up. One of the First off, exciting for one. I mean, you're creating courses that have already been created.
Yep.
Okay, with Sawgrass, TPC, Deer Run, and TPC Boston.
Yeah.
And then our normal 5, they're coming our way here soon,
Yep.
right? That now projected late spring 2022. Jim, just some of the work that's gone into this. I know it's took you a while to get here.
Yeah, I mean, what's nice is we have 2 teams kind of working now. One is dealing with primarily PGA stuff, and then another team working on Golden Tee stuff. There's a lot of crossover, but it's kind of worked out great because they kind of deal with a lot of the data and stuff we get directly from the PGA, and it's really nice data that they've done through they do these drone. So they give us this really detailed image of the course that we can kind of convert to Golden Tee. For us, I have to create that. So definitely my world is more Golden Tee courses because a lot of those PGA stuff is already there and available for us. So, but we will put the trees on, make sure that everything works, adjust the tee boxes, make sure that the distances work for Golden Tee. But there's a lot of that stuff that really kind of comes in the door.
When I see a course, and I've played a couple rounds on PGA now, where I see a Sawgrass, and it may not cater to the people that are necessarily into this room, but maybe some newer people. Just have you ever looked at it and said, I could Golden Tee that course up. We can make that tee box a little bit shorter. Or all of a sudden,
absolutely. Yeah, but the thing that you need to remember, a lot of people should remember, is that those courses weren't developed for a Golden Tee player. They're developed for real players. Real players, it's not as easy to hit a straight shot as it is in Golden Tee.
No.
I mean, I'm a really good example of that because I'm really bad at real golf. But for those, they are already in existence, but they're courses that players know. And what a lot of people in this room don't realize is there are a lot of players who, even in Golden Tee, walk up for the first time. They don't know what they're doing. They don't, and what I really like about PGA is it can draw those players in. Because once we get those players kind of playing and realize that, hey, this is kind of fun, where maybe before they didn't even approach the game. PGA is a great license for us in both ways, where it's a great partnership because that can bring in a player say, well, I know Sawgrass. I'd love to play Sawgrass. I've never played. I won't have a chance to do that. We can give them that chance to do it. And then once they play it, they may graduate to playing more courses. And for us, we just want more players playing and enjoying it.
Yeah. So we're walking into now 2022, 5 new courses. Now we're going – I would say we're not finalized on this. I've been talking to people, but they've said we're going to a little bit of a newer model where we're not going to rush 5 courses maybe out in September. We may go 1 course every 2 months.
Yeah.
Is that, first off, better for you? I mean, would you rather have that? Or
you know what? For me, it's kind of nice to keep things fresh. And I wouldn't say it's not easier. It's not better for me, but they're going to be worked on and done no matter what. But I think it's nice to kind of ease people into it and say, hey, here's one. There may be more than one. It's not necessarily you're going to get one at a time. But we're going to get some, but it won't be all at one chunk like we used to have. And I think what's nice about that, and with our operators in mind too, is that it's nice to keep things fresh all year long. Where, it is a business, and we need to keep our operators happy, making money with their machines. And one of the ways we can do that is to keep it fresh for a longer period of time.
I would have to believe August is kind of a slow month for you guys, typically, historically.
Well,
I'm sorry, no. Let me say July. You're getting ready. You're amping up for all that.
Yeah.
Other guys are probably a little bit slower. The players generally around August are like, all right, let's
for us, that's our crazy time.
Oh yeah, no, you guys are amping up. You're ready to get going.
Yeah.
We're here at the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship. Do you remember the first national championship?
Yes. I remember it was at a convention. I think it was probably 97.
1997.
Yeah, and I do remember it. We had maybe a dozen guys. And I still remember some of the guys coming in, a lot of the Mount Airy boys who came in, Dean Ott and Steve Sobey. And they were kind of like, I can't believe this. We're actually going to play for money for gold. It was pretty cool because they first of all, they didn't think it was real. They thought we were I remember talking to some of them, like they thought that it was a joke, like we weren't serious.
They want to fly out to see if it was a joke?
Yeah.
It's great. So 97, your first, that was, I would imagine, was here, right? I mean, was it at the old Las Vegas Hilton?
You know, it was at the convention center here. So I'm not sure. We did one at the Sands Convention Center before that got knocked down. It was one of these, either here at the Sands, probably here. Yeah.
And you've seen just this, I mean, the evolution of the player, the evolution of what you create in the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, the competition is just.
It's fantastic.
It's at I would say almost at an all-time high.
Yeah, yeah, and it's. I will say there were times back in the day where there was a clear difference between the elites, like the Mount. I don't know if how far back you go, but the Mount Airy boys and the guys from St. Louis, and there were a few little pockets of Golden Tee play, and the rest of there was a big drop off after that. That's not the case anymore. No. I mean, now you get players from all over the country, very talented players. You don't. Back in the day, it was, those guys would learn from each other, and there just weren't that many places to play.
Yeah.
And now, since it's kind of, across the country and with the internet, I mean, players play and teach each other, and it's a whole different ballgame now.
Honestly, Jim, I believe wholeheartedly it has its own place in popular culture. I mean, it really does. I mean, it's in what I guess we say now 18,000 locations now in America, several hundred in homes in America now through the Home Edition platform. Do you ever just sit back? I mean, you're doing 33. That's like, God.
I did it here today. It's like, what's funny, I look back when we started, and Larry and I, we just wanted to make a game that didn't suck. I mean, that was our goal. Let's make something back in the day. And that late 80s, there's still arcades. I mean, we were still playing quarter at a time. So things back, let's just make the best golf game we can make. Let's, because both Larry and I had played plenty of other PC games and other things like that, and we knew what didn't really feel like golf. And if you've ever played any of those, they have these timing mechanisms where you press one to start the swing and then press it. Like, that has nothing to do with golf.
No.
So back in the day, we said, what, this trackball is probably the best way of mimicking a golf swing because you can actually, you can be the golfer. And none of the other games up to that point did that. So I think we really wanted to bring that. And the great thing is, this is what, 89, the physics model for how the ball flies and how the club reacts has not changed since then. We adapted to the different hardware, but how the hardware reads the trackball is the exact same as it was back then. And that's, I think, a big part of the consistency is from iteration to iteration, you don't really change much. And we've added the backspin buttons and different things like that. But how you actually make your shots is exactly the same as it's always been.
Yeah. We're getting ready to wind down our qualifier here at the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship. Jim Zielinski, Chris Longino. Do we have any names to these courses yet? Do you already have names to them?
I do. Yeah, we do. We have places and lanes. I can't let you.
We can't go that far yet? All right. I
got
to test my boundaries, Jim.
I will say this, and I'll see if I can tease this without giving it away. There is a retro course coming that people will.
You're giving the people what they want, Jim?
No. And that's the cool part. It's something that I don't want to give too much away, but
they wouldn't expect.
Exactly. There's something that they don't expect, and I think when they hear what it is, they're going to be pleasantly surprised. But it's I'll say I don't want to give too much away.
Okay, I got you, man. Yeah, keep it close to the vest. You guys got a lot of great things coming as we're launching this new PGA Tour edition. Jim, this World Championship as a spectacle now, more than we have a stage, we have a light show.
That's crazy.
You went to that first national championship, and which was done in the convention center. Gary mentioned on my podcast once he was hired on and he saw the first national championship, and he said, "Well, we're not doing this again."
Yeah,
it brought you, I believe, to the MGM, which was in 01, somewhere in or 01 or 02.
2002.
Yeah, 2002.
Yeah.
Just talk about this championship a little bit and just kind of how it's
back
evolved.
then, really, we thought, all right, we're giving away these monthly prizes. it would be a great way. It really was more of a marketing tool for our show and for our product to say, hey, this is a viable deal. There's really good players out there. We're going to have the championship at our convention. And it really was more about us getting Golden Tee out there and marketing that to our operators than it was even to the players. Since then, I think Gary kind of like took it over, and like when we hired him on, which was after, I think that might have been one of the first few months that he was there, and he kind of said, we can be bigger than this. But he was looking more for a player kind of thing, and he was right. It's not that we didn't do it wrong, but no one did that, back in the day. No one was doing national championships outside of the billiard.
There wasn't a whole lot of just people playing Golden Tees as a profession. I mean, people playing video games just for other people to watch people play video games.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing.
No, now you got Twitch and everything is all over the place.
Incredible.
And people enjoy seeing that. And part of it is like, well, they want to see, if he's doing it, maybe I can do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is with these players and a lot of these guys that I think you've seen a lot of these faces around for a number of years now. A lot of guys that you've kind of got to know. We're starting to see some younger faces. Are you more encouraged by that?
Oh, absolutely. That's great. I see some of the old schoolers, and it's kind of interesting to see some of the younger guys kind of coming up through the ranks. And but then there's still guys who've been here for quite a few years who, they're not giving up their skill. They're still here. But actually, new blood is always, we need it. It's like you can't survive and keep going without new players. And if we just relied on the same old guys, you'd die pretty quickly. So it's kind of nice to see these guys coming in and seeing their chance to glory here, getting some money.
Yeah. You got a pick for this thing? Do you think you got a guy you like to win, or?
How can you go against Andy Haas? It's like here's the thing. It's a whole different ball game on day 2 tomorrow. And there's guys that I've seen fold, like, okay, I made it to the finals, whatever, and then they kind of lose it. And I think if you can keep yourself centered on your game and how you play it back at your home base and keep yourself there and not get everything distracted on like, oh, I have to do this, I can't. I think those are the guys that really kind of start to fall apart is when they make stupid mistakes like missing 8-foot putts and and it happens to everybody, but when your mind's on it, hey, it's funny, the more you think about it sometimes the worse you do, and I think the best players can say, you know what, I'm just going to go by my gut, how I've played this throughout time, and I'm just going to rely on my own skill and not think about it too much. I think when you start thinking, oh, he did this, I need to do that, that's when you start getting into trouble.
And you mentioned Andy Haas. Andy Haas doesn't look at anybody else. Because he looks at himself as the measuring stick, which, for a lot of years now, it's almost been 20 years since his first ever tournament win that he ever had, and here we are 20 years later here at the Westgate, and he's still one of the top players in the room.
And the approach is the same. If you play your game, what does it matter what anyone – and it
doesn't.
It doesn't matter what anyone else does, and you should never say, oh, I need to counter that. Obviously you have to make the cut or something. You have to take some chances and do some things you normally wouldn't have to do. But if you're playing one-on-one like tomorrow, you got to just play your game. I would say this. It's not a dumb move to secure if you're up by a few points, not to make stupid risky shots late in the game. But other than that –
don't lose it.
Yeah.
Looking over here to the left, and I think you've seeing in the quad screen here, we have the 2-time world champion Greg Kinsler, a guy that you guys had a lot of experience with, and you've seen a lot of glory from. He's one of the guys that's mastered a lot of your designs over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Greg's, we've known Greg forever. He was a local guy. We're in the Chicago area. He's there. He's helped us out on numerous occasions, like coming in and playing stuff. Hey, we want to bounce some ideas off you, So he's great. It was good to see. He's had a great run. He came, kind of went down, didn't play a lot for a while, and then came back recently, which is really great to see. But fantastic relationship with him. It's really good to see him back.
And still a guy that plays. I mean, he's talking as this is potentially his last World Championship.
Yeah.
He's got him and his life is kind of going into a different direction. We look over here to the right machine, and so maybe some guys that you don't know, but somebody that you might have known just recently, Joe Macera.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And right now he is.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I would have to point him out to
Yeah.
you just particularly because daily contest is such a different thing where you play the same setup, same wind all the time, and he's found this little angle to where he's almost perfecting being able to walk out with big rounds on those courses.
Oh, I know. I've heard other players complaining about it. But you know what? Everybody has the potential to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is like that's good for him. I mean, he's found his niche. He figured out, hey, consistency matters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
daily contest right there.
And that if you are consistent with your shots, and you can pull them off at any point, it doesn't matter what the look is. You know exactly what to expect. So that for a lot of players where they're inconsistent, that's where they say, hey, well, that's not fair.
Yeah. And that's for as many times as he's done. Daily contest is a multi-time venture for him today. Yeah, but for him every day, and he goes in and he'll play how many there are, all those different shots that he plays on those courses, which are not shots that a lot of people normally play on your normal 18 rounds. All that goes into his mind. That's all in that Rolodex in his mind, and you'll see it throughout the weekend. He is so many different ways to play these shots, and I would have to look at him as Exhibit A as far as guys that would probably wow you as different kind of shots he can hit.
Yeah,
unexpected things. 2022 courses coming out. I'm sitting there trying to get some good questions out. You can't give me the names.
Well, I mean, put it this way: the PGA gives me a little bit more license to not to make them harder, but to make them more challenging. I would say that those are two different things. Being hard and being challenging are two different things.
Okay.
I want to make sure that a beginner player still can play his birdie golf if he wants to. But that I do have a little license with PGA because a lot of our normies and first-time players will kind of, I think, are going to gravitate over to that side first. I have the license to be able to say, like, especially on the eagle holes, on the drivable par fours, and the par fives, to make those eagle shots a little bit more challenging.
I hear you.
So, I mean, I play your normal eagle, you're going to be okay. But there's probably going to be a little bit more water around the green. There's probably going to be a little more cuts involved in a lot of the par fives. We definitely have elevation changes to deal with. I know that Monte Zeballos is really popular. So we're bringing some of that, but it's not going to maybe not to be that extent. But I love that because it makes the wind that much more important. Okay. And if you don't know how to play your wind, you're going to be host.
You're going to have a hard time with it. Monte, one of the most unique designs that you've come up with. I've joked around that if it was a real course, you'd need a chairlift for sure to get up to.
Yeah.
A lot of downhill shots, but it will challenge you. Just some thoughts making that course. It's been almost 3 years now since you made that course.
Yeah, I think. We had done some with Canadian. I forget see, they all run together. The Canadian course.
About 80 of them now.
Yeah. Well, no, more than that. Yeah. So for live course, I think it's close to 100. Oh. But for the I love that course, and I love the elevation changes. I like the one that we did in Germany also. And I think there's something fun, especially when you get to the back nine and the winds start kicking up, being able to negotiate and figure out how the wind is going to affect my ball on the way down. And I want to, let's play that up. Let's do one course where we really kind of add more to that and play that up a little bit. So that's what I said. Let's go for broke. And, not that you won't see anything like that or higher in the future, but I love it. I just think it's kind of fun.
Absolutely.
Because there's an anticipation to just waiting. Oh, and then you could see, right away, oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to make it.
I understand that for sure. You got a favorite of all time?
Yeah, but it's probably not one that players like. I love the courses that you have to earn your eagles. I don't, it's easy to drive and hit it. I think I love Southern Oaks.
Wow.
But my favorite, I think, is Maple Acres. I love Maple Acres. A lot of people will hate it. Oh, it's too hard.
You can't tell these people about Maple Acres. Maybe 3 of them have played that course.
Yeah.
That was 2002. It was
Yeah.
2003. I remember it quite well. No, that was one of
Yeah.
your greatest challenges. I also, if I remember correctly, I think that was the Sobey Bourgeois match.
It might have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of drama with that one. I remember. Maybe a little wayward putt that Bourgeois probably still talks about to this day that he didn't like. But other than that, funny story, I made my first world championship, Jim, in 2004.
Okay.
And one guy that had gotten to my ear early was, Stephen Sobey.
Oh, sure.
And, I was happy. I'm proud to get to play for a guy like Chris Eversole. He was our playing captain, but Steve had just started working for you guys.
Yeah.
And he was the one that kind of just talked to me, and I didn't have a great attitude in that weekend. I didn't play well, and he's the one that kind of brought me back. It's like, keep with it. But I told him about, I bought this VHS tape from Incredible Technologies that had the Bourgeois versus Sobey match.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and goes, if you had called us, we'd probably mailed that to you.
Yeah.
And but I don't know, I don't have it anymore. It ended up getting borrowed to somebody that never got returned.
Oh, I think we have some. We'll get you one.
Oh no, I want one for sure.
I think we have some extras.
Oh, awesome. Gary on my podcast told me he still had his.
Yeah.
So that was also a great conversation to get to talk to on my podcast. I had Gary Calabano a couple weeks ago, and just get to walk down memory lane and just his versions. Can I ask you something while I have you here? And I'm going to ask you again if you're on my podcast, but I'm just going to.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But everybody that's listened to my podcast, we've been unraveling Tommy Tuesday to everybody and just what was going on. Can you just kind of give your perspective a little bit? You're a course designer, so I know the business part of it is not much of you.
Well, Tommy Tuesday, I don't know how many people know about the whole story. I don't want to get into the whole what it was, but essentially it was a way that we used to have a way of playing a course that someone had already played, and then you could still play it for money. And so the problem is on those courses, we only updated every 48 hours or whatever it was, every 2 or 3 days. So with Tommy Tuesday, he came up with this look where I don't know, it wasn't a one shot. It was a full. I don't remember.
It was a Heartland number 6.
Yeah, Heartland number 6,
and it was a big full shot to the right.
Right. But it was a very drivable hole that you could easily get the hole and win. It wasn't really hole and win at that point, or was, I don't remember. But it got to the point where, the word got out that this is pretty easy setup. Mm-hmm. You can go out there and make some money, and the word got out. Players went all over the place. We also happened to have a tournament in Chicago at the same time, and people were driving all over the place because once you hit the hole in one, the cabinet would shut off and wouldn't allow it anymore. So players were driving all over the place trying to find a cabinet that hadn't been hit. They were collecting a lot of money, and we unfortunately couldn't update that hole to a new one for a couple days. So hey, it was what it was. This is what we offered. Yeah. We paid out everybody that we owe, but since then there were changes to that, and unfortunately that really put a sour taste in our mind for having drone players and players like that. I thought that was the best way that we could teach people to play is hey, let's look at some of these guys and how they're making these shots, and because a lot of people, how are they doing this? They didn't believe it. I said, well, this is the guy making the shot. That's how you do it. So
you don't have a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. I don't know if it works under our prizes format and where people are collecting die. But,
exactly.
But that being said, that's also where real-time rivals is right now. That's kind of what the shadow golfer is. What we called it in the early 2000s was the shadow golfer. But that's what real-time rivals is now.
Yeah,
and getting to play against. Other characters like Duffer Dan. Which, by the way, I made the joke. He needs to have a ring of sausages around his neck and have Duffer Dan. They make him look a little too cooler than what he is. But anyway, real-time rivals, you get to play against guys that are making shots all the time. There's a great way to learn, and you have your shot meter.
Yeah, and you can see.
Were you the creator? Was Shot Meter your idea?
Well, it had been running around for a while. It wasn't. I can't say that was my idea. There have been people who said, I think this would be helpful. I know Don Pescioni. He was a big proponent of it. So I'm not quite sure where that came, but it's a great idea.
Okay.
Don
may have credited you with it. So.
I don't. It's like as with anything, we bring up an idea, we hash it around, we debate it, and then if the team, we have a core development team. If we say, yeah, let's go with that, and what's nice, we all respect each other's opinion. Sure, there's disagreements back and forth, and usually if something, everyone agrees on, we kind of know, we respect each other, let's go for it.
This is, I don't know if you know this, Jim, this is, we're here at the World Championship, the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship. This will be the 17th time that somebody will edge their name on a trophy with your name on it as well, the Jim Zielinski trophy. Yeah. First off, Larry, I guess, is Larry Hodgson, which is a partner of yours. Can you just kind of talk to the genesis of how you guys got this started?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, we were working on other stuff. We were a different company. We were doing kind of development for other companies. We were like back in the Commodore 64. We were making games for that. We were doing pinball software for Data East. So I was a play tester there. I worked with Larry on a couple of Commodore 64 games, testing them, and we got to be friends. And then he started working on this. A golf simulator. You want to do like they have at Top Golf, or one of those golf simulators. This is back in '89, so they didn't really have anything like that. Tried all kinds of stuff with detecting the golf club. We didn't have the technology to make that really working back in the late '80s. But Richard, our executive president, the president of IT, the co-owner, he said he had done Capcom bowling for Data East for Capcom back in the day.
That was a trackball game, right?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, and he knew the trackball, and he said, you know what, we have the hardware, which is essentially similar to what we had used for Capcom bowling. He said, why don't we just take what you've got and turn it into CoinHack? We've done that before. Do it ourselves. We'll market it ourselves. So we went that approach, and Larry and I actually thought of various different control mechanisms. We ended up back on the trackball just because of the feel. We worked on the ability of making and shaping your shots with that. Like, let's make it like real golf. Like everything is, you can do this in golf. Let's allow the player to do that with the trackball.
Yeah.
So you won't see the break from the backswing to the foreswing in real golf, but the potential for all those other shots are there. Although in Golden Tee, I will say these players are able to probably finesse it better than in real golf.
Yes.
Which is a good thing in a video game, So that's kind of how that started, and then, we got a good marketing push, and we pushed the first games out.
This was '89, right?
That was '89, and then that thing did well, and then we took a couple years. We did an update for it, and then, we were coming back in for 3D golf, and we had moved on, and Larry moved on to another arcade game. I was doing some other arcade games, and then we said, you know what, let's do. We had better hardware. He said, let's do a better golf game, and then Richard also pushed the whole communications thing, which was back. If you remember, this was '95, and that's back in the America Online CompuServe days where people were barely hooking up to their. And he had this concept of let's connect our games. We'll have them nightly download the scores to our central server, and then the next day we'll put out. I mean, this is unheard of back in the mid-90s. Nobody else was doing something like this. So that's what really got it going. People could compete across the country, across the world, as we started getting these games in England and South Africa and places like that.
Honestly, you're talking about PS4 today 20 years ago, Jim.
Yeah.
That's really what you're talking. You're talking about people connecting to play each other almost.
It wasn't simultaneous, but it was still.
Yeah, but you could see other people and what they were doing on the exact stuff that you were doing it on.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just but that was pre. All you see in video games today, you guys were right before it, man.
Yeah, and I got to give a lot of credit to Larry and Richard for seeing the future And Larry then was also one of the big instigators for the cellular stuff when we went out with live, where no one was doing that, and that allowed players who didn't have a hookup, like, to be able to use the cellular modem, which was in 2000. I mean, if you think about cell phones, there wasn't a whole lot going down in the year 2000.
We live in a lot different world now.
Yeah. So that he was able to envision that, and that really launched live, and then here we are, building on that with new hardware, and it just keeps going. So it's great.
Great stuff, Jim. This is honestly our 11th playing of this World Championship, a thing that's still going today.
That's great to see.
And still a great following, probably one of the more loyal followings you'll ever find in video games.
It's great. We at IT are so appreciative of these guys. And someone came up and thanked me for the game. I said, you know what? A game's no good without a player. And if you guys weren't into it, we wouldn't have it. So the thanks goes both ways. We're appreciative of you guys being this into it, and really kind of making it a cultural thing. That's not our doing, that's your doing, and the community that you guys have really kind of developed. Like I said, that's not us, that's you, and you guys have done that. You guys have helped us, so it's a great relationship.
As long as you continue to provide the canvas for us to play on, brother.
It'll keep coming.
We're going to still show up,
Yeah, it's going to keep coming.
Jimmy, this has been awesome. I appreciate you talking to me. I don't know what you have to. I know you have a heart out at some point, but just I appreciate you coming and talking to me.
All right, thank you.
All right, Jim Zielinski, creator, one of the legends at Incredible Technologies. Happy to have him with me.
Thanks a lot.
As we sit down, we're getting ready to wind down this qualifier now. As Andy Haas is playing his and a great putt. Winding this down, we're getting to figure out who is going to be the 32 players to play for a Golden Tee World Championship tomorrow. Should be exciting. Andy Haas should have his spot well in the field. I'm curious to see what Mark Gomez is doing, because he struggled early, and now he has turned it on. As we look at the 18th hole over here at Coral Ridge, Joe Macera, Mark Gomez, Danny Skurlock, and still with one more group to go right behind them. They'll be finishing up here really soon. Mark McClevich still right behind him, as we're starting to fill this field out a little bit. A lot of guys are starting to finish. And what's the number we're looking at? Probably at 132, and right now 128 appears to be the number. Stenmark, who is right now playing on a course right now. And he's, by the way, I'm looking across the room. He's not on a stream machine, but headphones has gone on. Headphones were not on earlier today. So he knows he is playing for something right now. If he can get a birdie in there, he'll get up in the mix. So some guys that are looking to be close to out. Brian Bernhardt's going to need some help, but we're getting close to nitty-gritty time. There's a lot of guys just finishing up, and there's a lot of guys just getting started. Having a great day of qualifying for right now. We're looking, I think, 130 to 131. I wasn't wrong about that. 130 to 131 looks to be the number. Some great players playing today. Kyle Heasley making right now. It looks pretty confirmed into right now. We'll see where it goes. Some great players up here. Al Jazz having a great day today. Even finished with a 21 and still with a 135. He'll play for a world championship tomorrow. Andy Fox will play for a world championship tomorrow. Top 32. He is guaranteed to be in. And joining me to help round out the cut, the great and remarkably thin Stephen Kramer. Puff is up here to join me to help bring down this Golden Tee World Championship qualifier. Puff. What's up, Bubby?
Hello, Gino. How you doing?
Outstanding. We're kind of winding this down. First off, tell me about your day, sir.
It was a good qualifier. 129. I had a lot of shot points.
Oh, you were on the bubble.
I'm predicting about 131 or 2. I'm not sure what you guys have already talked about. But
Yeah, right now you're sitting 129 and 26. Still a lot of players going, especially with the two groups that had to deal with machine issues today.
Correct.
And well, I mean, maybe one of them's not a machine issue. Just Chisholm's kind of slow. And as you can see, Andy Haas had to pull up a chair today to see. First off, this is what, your third World Championship, Huff?
Second.
You were in the Orleans.
19 in this year, yeah.
Yeah, and just your impression of our World Championship so far this time around, Ben?
I think this has been a really good venue. It's a lot easier to watch matches than the auditorium.
Oh, and then hole out from Andy Haas, just doing Andy Haas things.
Standard. Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, it's been a great experience. A lot of open seating, kind of pick your chair, do whatever you want. Qualifying went super smooth. I was one of the first ones done. Mm-hmm.
And the final cycle for the man that just walked past me, which was Mark Stenmark, I think it's 130.
Oh, yeah. I saw he was right at that.
He's right on that cut line, Steve. So, I mean, I think you're going to sit up here and you might be close to it, buddy. And I don't know if you've been listening to my podcast or not, but, you know, there's somebody's been sniffing out that somebody's had a little bit of high volume this month. It might be you.
I've been playing a little more unusual, 150, 200 a month.
No, yeah.
For me, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm never a guy who's ever going to put up
I wasn't wired that way either.
200-300 games like on a normal basis. So.
I wasn't wired that way either, man. So right now you sit in 26 right now, Puff, at 129. We still got a few guys, a lot of guys still out in the course, but most of them are kind of winding down. We're going to see. I mean, this group right here will be the most important for you to watch.
That's
for the number 3. These 3 guys who are all kind of in the mix right now.
Yeah, that's minimum 2 out of the 3, maybe even all. Evan can easily shoot a 25, 76 here and get in too. So
and McCook's over here at 113, so that means he would need a 18 to beat you, a 19 to beat you. I think Ryan McCook's good for that, right?
Yeah. I'd say that's probably a good possibility.
You know, you're an East Coast guy like I am, and of course we have this guy Ryan McCook who's been traveling up and down the East Coast now for a number of months, and just good to have him back in our community, right?
Oh yeah, when he first got back playing again, when he was traveling with his golf job, I was one of his stops coming up and down the East Coast when he would stop in my local community.
In Harrisonburg?
Yeah, he had an account at one of the country clubs, and he would stay the night, we'd play, and I remember when he was super rusty and just getting back into it, and then he just immediately got back to his usual self. Yeah. And decided to make it a profession again, so.
He's one of the top guys in this room and definitely going to be a factor tomorrow. I don't know if you've got to look over here at this live machine, Chisholm, who is I don't know. We have this thing where if you're good at Golden Tee, you're methodical. But if you're not good at Golden Tee, then you're slow. I
mean, we all know the culprits of slow play for sure.
Oh, yeah. We've got a few in mind, you know, a lot of these guys. And Chisholm, who has been doing so many different things to try to keep him in a zone right now.
Yeah.
And but it's also taken his time. And if you see the guy sitting behind him, he's the one that likes to play really fast. And that's Andy Haas.
Yes, I qualified directly in front of their machine, so I didn't get to watch a bunch of them. But seems like there were a lot of clapping and a lot of hole outs, and seems like
Steve, you moved to 27th now. I'm glad you're sitting here. You're a guy that's on the bubble. We're gonna keep an eye on it, but you know.
No, I left a lot of shots out there. Of course, I had one bad a par 3 in Onse. I went down the hill, got behind the wall with the G wedge, couldn't get up, lost 3 strokes there, and that was kind of it.
So the bubble guy right now is Jared Decker. Jared Decker right now sitting at 128 right now with a lot of short points. You were there in 2019.
Yep.
The magic kind of a little bit in the air when we get a guy, and you've been around long enough, Steve, where, you know, we see a lot of the same characters all the time. And so when we get fresh blood, for me personally, I get a little bit more excited about it because these guys.
Yeah, he was playing the daily a lot back then, but not a lot of 18 prize play. And so everybody saw what he was doing on the daily, but he kind of came out of nowhere. And I don't think he's playing a lot anymore. I know a couple weeks ago he said he was putting in some play to get ready again, but another guy who,
close shot for Chisholm, wanted to hole out. No, that was and he's looks like he's gonna play for a silver bracket, and I wasn't expecting a lot from him this tournament. There's
a lot of guys. If you look down that list, a lot of
Oh, Clint Grover does.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
A lot of usual gold standard guys.
Oh, wow. And right now, Mike Jager, who is right now 20 after – he's right now 126, but he's 20 after 16.
Okay.
And so he's going to be grinding to get into that cut.
So 17 wasn't a hard look. You could go around right or left. Right.
I saw over.
A lot of people are going right or over, yeah. And then 18, you have to poke it. 8.5s were getting over, and the big 9.5 was going to the bottom, and it's usually a chip up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of people actually land it and sit. It's a lot of.
Do you play the three drivers like everybody does?
I do not. I went 9.5, 10.5. Typically, I can get there on one with the 9.5, and so I stayed away from the 8.5 on that course. But
all right, I hear you. I'm a 9.5, 10.5 guy as well.
Yeah.
Brewers talked me for years to try to go to that three driver, and
if there was a course for it, it sure would be Pine because they all come in handy for sure.
10 guys last night making their first World Championship appearance. All the guys that qualified last night in the Last Chance qualifier this will be their first World Championship.
Yes.
And I made a prediction last night, Puff, that one of these guys would make the cut, and I don't think I'm going to live up to it. We're going to see.
Which one were you?
Well, Jade McGillen was one of them.
Jade, yeah, he's a very, very, very good player, and he was actually qualified next to me. Had a couple tough breaks, and he did have that injury that was hurting, some nerve damage on his left hand from that. I guess the beach incident.
The beach.
He fought with a sea urchin.
I've heard plenty about that over the weekend. As he's walking around in front of us.
There he is.
Hey, what's up? Love that guy. So we're looking right now, and Puff, you were still sitting at 27th right now. So
I think Michael Perez was Last Chance winner.
Yeah,
I think he looks
Michael
like he's
Perez.
right on the bubble probably.
Yeah.
He's a little above me, I think.
Yeah.
I think he was around 130 couple maybe. He plays as Omar Cumming, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now, and I just don't happen to. Oh no, yeah, he is. Oh yeah, no, he's in 132.
It's close. Yeah.
No, that's in 132 is fine. Right now,
Yeah.
ranked 13th, and with a 184,000 great shot points. That's what's going to keep him in this field.
Yeah.
And so we're going through these names right now, and just people that have had great qualifiers today. Chris Brewer, somebody you and I know quite well.
Yep.
Going to go play for another World Championship tomorrow.
And he came in with some pretty good odds too. He was what? He was at that 25, 30 to 1.
Yeah, very deep on his odds. I have to ask because we mentioned Ryan McCook opening at 21. Was that as asinine to you as it was to me?
Well, I thought it was even higher than that. I think he might have opened at like 28. Was it 25? Was it 21?
I thought it was 20 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he's had the highest. I think this casino has the highest exposure on him right now.
Yeah, he dropped down to a 10, maybe even
8 to 1. 8 to 1 today. 8 to 1 today was what he went on. But 20 to 1, that was just that blew my mind when I saw that.
I was going to say I've been taking screenshots periodically throughout the week, and a lot of when people were showing up, and I think one of the original screenshots I had was the opening odds, and let's see, he was 20 to 1 when it first came out, and dropped down quickly.
All right, Steve is still hanging out at 27th right now. Like I said, this group right now. I'm glad you're here right now because I mean you're gonna find out a lot, and that you've been on this bubble before. I think, if I remember correctly, this is a couple times for you. I
am a standard bubble player. Yes, I've been 32 many times, 33.
You and Danny Beal, Danny Bell, you guys are you've been around there a couple times.
One of my greatest accomplishments was in Cincinnati in 2017. I finished 32nd and played no other than Paul Luna in the first game and took him down. So I was the first 32 to beat a 1 on the PEGT tour.
Wow.
Yep.
Those are notes I should have. So McGillum. He 22 on the last round. That's what got him.
Yeah. It wasn't. Pine was not a hard look. It was standard Pine. Had a couple of shots like this shot here that they're coming up on the McCook stream here. That was not an easy look. I ended up in the same woods there. You had to really get it out and have a good look to pop around. But a lot of people are going short. Even Ryan here is in the middle of the woods here. And
looks like David Duncan is going to miss the cut today. That's a little bit of a surprise to me.
125. Is that right?
Somewhere in there. Just not his best qualifier at all.
I heard he had some track ball issues. Hit a thumb shot a little shorter than he thought, and put a new trackball in, and I don't know what happened after that, but I heard he was a little flustered with that.
So I mean, Puff. I mean, right now like I said, we're starting to wind up. The more you sit here with me, the more these these rounds are getting over. So right now you're sitting in 27th. The two matches, the two groups that we're watching closest, Machine 1 and Machine 2, have both major implications on this cut right now.
How's Timmy Glenn doing?
He was good early, and then he had some. It was 25, 25, 25, 26.
Okay.
So he was wasn't lighting the world on fire. We're gonna
Gotcha. Yeah, I know Chisholm has a chance to be right there.
26, 25, 24, 26.
Okay.
Now, there's some people that are with Tim Glenn today that are letting everybody know that he is. I think they're trying to make a little bit of documentary. Tim Glenn's going to go to several tournaments this year.
Okay.
And this is kind of his comeback to the Golden Tee world. Understand he's a 2003, 2004 World Championship runner-up.
Yes.
And
a little before my time, but I've heard the stories and seen the YouTubes.
In our aspects of if we had a Hall of Fame Steve, he would be there. And he's making his comeback this year. A lot of these guys, where the kids get a little bit older, a little bit more freedom comes about.
Yep.
And they're able to do stuff like this. So Tim Glenn's going to come back and be a part of this community again.
Yeah, fantastic.
And,
glad to see a lot of the guys from up north coming back down. And
4 Canadians qualified for this tournament, 3 attended.
Yeah, was Bradwell opted out?
Yeah, Bradwell, who chose to stay at home.
Yeah, then we have Cam, Timmy, and who's the fourth?
We have Cam Eager. We have Dan Usselman.
Dan Yu, right?
Yeah, Dan Yu, both from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I got to talk to them.
Gotcha.
Big Rough Riders fans from the CFL. And they because some of those guys who won the pandemic a little bit, I remember the early stages, and it's hard to believe it's been almost 2.5 years since we've been on this kind of stage,
absolutely,
Steve.
Absolutely.
And the guys that when the country shut down that started really amping it up, the Jason Elliott's, Dan Usselmans of the world, Cam Eagers, those are the guys that were stuck at home and wanted to play their home edition a little bit more.
Yep.
And as we're working over here, Mark McClevich. I'm trying to keep an eye on him because he's making a rally right now.
Yeah, so Mouth, apparently that machine was giving him some issues. I guess the screen was going in and out. I think it was trying to pick up some 4K signals, and obviously we know that that's not except for PGA now. But, so now he's back on track. He played some clean rounds.
So we're looking at this group. Scanlon's going to need a 30 to beat you, buddy.
Gotcha.
All right, Scanlon's going to need a 30. So he's the one. He's out right now. He'll need a 30.
That would be a major accomplishment.
So, and we believe Tim Glenn is out. Okay, so those are 2 obstacles for you right now as we look a little further up. We're Steve Kramer up to 29th now.
Ryan McCook just had a nice hole-in-one on that short par 3.
All right. Unsurprising.
Yes. I'm sure about everybody in the qualifier burned that hole.
Yeah. So right now, Puff 29, Mark Stenmark is the 30th.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So we know one guy that's going to pass you. Okay, that's what we do know, which is McCook.
We could be looking at the former champion and the second place runner-up Decker could be out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark, and you probably saw as much as I did, and everybody else on Facebook. He was proclaiming that he was not in form. He was trying to let everybody know that he is not the Mark Stenmark we've seen every.
Just in this past hole, Andy Haas has passed your qualifier now. So just after
also not a shocker there. So.
After this 8th hole, he beat Puff Kramer. I think we're understanding. We're okay with this.
Yes. Surprised it didn't take him only 4 courses to do it. So.
Yeah, he's I tell you what, just watching him today, and because he's had to play with Chisholm, and Steve, I think this was on purpose. Whether Sobel wants to call me out on it or not, you put the world's fastest player against the world's slowest player, and those are right 2 next to each other. 15 under for Andy Haas going into the 10th hole.
I'm also a fast player. I mean, if you put like me and Andy, and we'd be done in 10 minutes. It's kind of crazy.
Sean Gervais kind of flirting with the cut line. He's on number 32 right now.
How'd you do, Mr. Robinson?
132.
There it is, another 132, man.
132. So
a lot of those.
Looks like Brandon Robinson will have a shot to play for a world championship tomorrow.
You heard it here first. 132s are looking good.
132 is looking really good right now.
Right now he adds one more. It's 129, 130 right now. It's going to be the number. What?
Chisholm.
Chisholm going to make it?
Mr. Mark Muckowitz is talking in our ear here and trying to predict the cut line. So Mark is calling 130. which is probably a good guess. I'm calling high points 130, maybe low points 131.
Yeah, 131. I'm happy that at the beginning of this broadcast, 130 to 131 is exactly what I said. And my boss, Adam Kramer, is sitting right there. I hope he gets on this as we move down. So Sean Gervais right now on the bubble. But right now, Adam Harris, if he can go birdie eagle, he will pass that, and it will put Sean Gervais into the silver bracket for the first time in his career.
Wow. Sean started a little slow, but he picked it back up. I thought he was going to cruise in.
Yeah. And then one right above him, which will be Chad Hart. We'll see what happens. You're 32 right now.
Sean Gervais asking
Yeah, Sean's
his
wanting
chances
to know. And honestly, what would happen tomorrow? We walk into a world championship and Mark Stenmark is the number 32 seed.
Yeah.
What happens? You wake up.
You're
and you
Evan
play
Gossett sitting there at 1. That's not the person you want to see.
Yeah, you go in. Honestly, that's one of the great rivalries in the history of Golden Tee is Evan Gossett versus Mark Stenmark. It really is. And honestly, if that would be a 132, that would be. We need to have that on the stream. A lot of history though between those two.
Yep.
As we're, like I said, getting ready to wind down this qualifier a little bit. These are the two machines we're really looking at. Just a few more out there. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. Only 3 more machines in the field, 2 up on the stage right now to play their qualifier. So, Steve, we're close, buddy.
We're close.
We're close.
Yeah.
You might have a shot to play for a world championship tomorrow.
Like I said, me and my 300 to 1 odds.
Did you make the cut in the 19 or?
No, I actually did not. That was a rough one. I think the 120 glitch got me a few times, and I watered a few shots, and that was about it for me. But
same.
Yeah. But 300 to 1. There were not many people at that high, and I was one of them. I think they saw my 2019 performance and said, "This guy deserves 300 to 1 odds."
Yeah.
So.
Did you bet on yourself a little
I
bit?
did. I can win a little chunk of change, but not a lot. But
no.
I put a lot more on the more quality players.
Yeah. So here we go. We're looking more in, like I said, I'm trying to keep this up. Steve Kramer's still 29th, and this is starting to.
So you're talking McCook and Mouth would fill out the next 2 spots.
Yeah.
I think Chisholm here is not. He's like on 11 through 11.
No, that's
11.
not happening. No,
Yeah.
With him struggling in this round right now, he had a good day starting today, but right now, names that are in names like Jason Elliott, Bryce Lepic, Indianapolis.
Yes.
Good job this tournament. Kind of a bad Dallas Holiday Classic. They're coming in and we'll make some cuts here.
Yep.
Frank Knowles. Farmer
Frank,
Farmer Frank making the cut here today.
Yeah, winning that last pass in Indy and coming in.
Yeah, he wasn't a world championship competitor more than a month ago, and now he'll play. We mentioned Michael Perez, and Michael Perez will play for a world championship. I think the biggest name we'll mention here is Robert Kennedy, who is a 134 cycle today.
Bobby Boucher, I think he was on 5, and I just saw him. He was lighting it up. Yeah. So he's one of those guys. He's unfazed. He just comes in and shoots.
So a lot of just big names, and this is what we see. Terry Haddock, the only Idaho player that we have in the field today.
I remember him in 19. He tried to qualify about every week and couldn't get in, and I guess he picked his game up and just decided he's going to do it this year.
One of the Washington guys. He was well known through the Mike Arrington network.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, and we have some upsets here, and we'll go over these over the next days. But Jared Decker, who won't make this cut.
Clint Grover, a big one.
Clint Grover, a big one. Going down the list here, Adam Harris. Adam Harris will. He needs help. He needs an eagle on the last hole to do it.
It's tough. It's like I said. It's going to run all the way to the bottom, and you have to have a shush or a chip up. So
I'm trying to get a gander where Adam is right now.
He's right there on 7, I believe.
All right, so I don't know if he's played or not.
Yeah,
he's already talking to.
It's like he's talking to EB and talking to Jade, and just kind of
trying to get an idea if he's got an eagle shot at this. This is a huge swing hole here.
Yeah,
because he's on 17. He's at 128 right now. 129 will get him in the mix with you.
What's his points? What are his points like?
What are his points like currently? 126.
Okay, so we don't know what he's got. I guess that is up to date, correct?
Yeah, that's up to the moment. Yeah. And right now, Adam Harris, I don't know if that's for birdie or for eagle. But right now, I mean, this is to make the cut. I mean, right now, this is his. The Bacon.
Mr. Bacon says, I'm in.
Bacon is in.
Big 132 from Bacon. Yeah.
We're going to celebrate that a little bit tonight.
Yeah. Cigars and whiskey, right?
and he'll make birdie. So that's 129.
Wow.
So he jumps Brian Bernhardt. He jumps over. Oh, no, he's just right under Sean Gervais. So Adam Harris looks like he'll miss the cut here as we go back to these two machines.
He was a 125 to 1 guy, which is big odds for a guy like Adam Harris, he's runner up before to Peg
Yeah, no, he's had a lot of experience playing great tournaments. Some days it just doesn't come together.
Oh,
Great shot for Tim Glenn.
Timmy Glenn's in. He has something left in him.
Oh, yeah, no, he's I've been told he's going to be attending some tournaments this year. I'm super excited for him.
Yep.
Great to have Tim Glenn back in the World Championship again. 2003, 2004 runner-up. The more this keeps concluding, I mean, these are the two that we're looking at. Steve, I mean, do you feel more comfortable sitting right next to me?
I mean, I in my head right now, I said, I'm comfortable going silver. I know I put myself in a chance, but
no.
If it would happen, it would be.
My apologies. Adam Harris made that for Eagle.
Oh,
he did Eagle. So he's jumped you. You are now the 30th.
So he is 29.
30th.
Yep.
All right. So we have Gary Sheldon still playing on Machine 10 right now. Machine 1 and Machine 2 are still playing.
I think Gary was pretty comfortable too. So
good for him. Trying to back up that Carolina Clash finish, making a big run in that tournament.
Yeah.
Ryan McCook lining up his seemingly easy. I mean, he's always around the hole when it comes to par threes.
So they're on 11 over here. They may be the last machine.
We were kind of projecting that. We have 11 over here. They're on 12, and actually they will finish before they will.
That is possible.
We started. It's funny. We switched over the stream at one point. They were on hole 11. They were on hole 5. They finished at the same time.
Yep. Anytime you got Mouth and McCook on the same machine, it's going to be quick. So.
Well, and then if you have Chisholm on this machine, it's just. Andy's never been the last to finish a qualifier ever. I'm going to ask him what took him so long. That's really what I'm going to go with.
He has been known at an NIV before to not even finish the qualifier and still make the cut.
That was I remember that so well.
Yeah. Just took a nap on the 5th course.
Yeah. Oh, and a bounce shot from Ryan McCook. 9.5, hitting it about, what's that, 367? No, 392, and he took a bounce on. Good job. And it looks like he's going to take on
Mouth with
the same shot.
Yep. That's how you get a stroke above the field right there.
Evan knows he can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shot that my entire group and Mr. Andy Fox I was playing with, we all laid that up. So none of us tried it. So.
Wow. And then you see Evan Scanlon.
Just saying, I'll take my chances on the next shot. Yeah.
As we're getting right now, Chad Hart would be the last person in right now. If we ended right now, we still got a lot of guys to finish.
And he's another guy who hasn't played much and still shoots great. I mean, he comes in and still remembers. So it looks like
trying to get down here further down the list a little bit.
Timmy's got honors, and Andy, of course, is up. This 14 look was not easy. Yeah. You had the 15 win going up.
Justin Wilson's a name we need to look at right now.
Okay.
All right, because he's right now 21 after 14, 25, 25, 30, 25.
Okay.
So with a 25 here, he'll finish at 130 on the number.
Wow. Yeah, that's a 25 is still a good number on this course. So.
Yeah. Glad you're here with me right now, Puff, as we bring you the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship here at the Las Vegas. I'm sorry, I keep trying to say the Las Vegas Hilton. This is the Westgate
Las Vegas
here.
Westgate. So
this is the Westgate in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
One of the most famous sports books in the world. Always been a classic sports book.
Have you played the Super Contest before?
I have not. I see all the posters and ads and.
I said Robert Washburn's around here. He's his 3rd year running in that right now. I've heard it all the time. So, and just a little high for Tim Glenn. No, I'm sorry. They're wearing the same clothes. So
So any word on start times tomorrow? Are we doing both together at the same time?
I don't know, actually. We'll get that pulled up here at some point towards the end of the broadcast, and I believe it will be early for 11 o'clock, I believe, for the silver bracket before. And we're going to have a double limit. It's a good old-fashioned purple bracket, Puff.
It is. No, you know me in purple brackets. I like to run them. So.
Oh, no.
Mouth literally hit the stick. And everybody says it hits the stick. He hit the stick. It would have been an ultra if the stick wasn't there.
I love those new guys say, did you hit the stick? And now you've moved to 31 now.
Oh, okay.
Mark Stenmark, the number 32.
So unless somehow Mouth does not finish this round, I think he will be in, and that might round out your top 32 bracket. Do you see anybody else on the left?
I've been told Jason Wickstrom is somebody I need to be looking at right now. Jason Wickstrom.
And Cags, right?
Yeah,
Sheldon should be right there, too.
Yeah, they're all right in that mix. So we're not quite done yet. A lot of guys still trying to make the cut here. Looking over here to the left of us, and right now Art DeVries, Machine 10.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier. He needed a really good round to get in.
Machine 11, Jason Wickstrom, who's playing with – looks to be Dan Gillard and Kevin O'Connor.
Okay. Oh, Kevin O'Connor, he should be in.
Is he in?
He opened up some good rounds.
All right, this will be. I mean, he's as many times as he's played in this World Championship, he has not made the cut. So he's a little bit further down the list too. So there's some. All right, we still have some action here.
It'll be rather down to the wire. That's for sure.
Whew. As we get down to the 14th, 15th holes here. 4 machines still left here before we make our 32. These 32 will play for a Golden Tee World Championship tomorrow.
A lot of action on the line. Big Calcuttas, big odds, big everything.
Oh, and Evan Scanlon, just a poor shot right there, and I think he's
overcut that a little bit.
Yeah, he's cozying himself right into a silver bracket run for tomorrow. As it's going to be a long day for a lot of those guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of action though. It's a lot of fun. Double elimination tournaments, you get a lot of gameplay. I mean, even if you make the loser bracket, you can run through that. I mean, trust me, it's a haul, but it can be done.
So now, I mean, McCook's on up here now a little bit. We're going to refresh our page here so we can get an idea right at, as sitting right next to me, Steve Kramer now is the number 32. Mark Stenmark will not defend his world championship at this tournament. He is out of the top 32. Kind of felt it a little bit. I mean, we understood that. I mean, he's living life is not exactly the same as it was 3 years ago. Maybe not playing as much Golden Tee as he was, and now will make a shot to try to get to the silver bracket.
Yeah,
Evan Gossett just breathed a little bit. Evan Gossett just breathed a little bit more now that Stenmark's out.
Now he's looking for the next bubble boy to come squeaking in there. It could be a Cags, or it could be you never know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Right now, looking further down the list, the Mouth is 22 after 15. Needs eagle here. He cannot screw up, and he gives himself a rough shot, but that's still going to be okay.
Yeah.
Needs to walk away with 26 or better to put you in the silver bracket, sir.
So 17 it's 17. It's not a hard look, but it is still 17. And then 18, you know, he's a big hitter. He's going to go for it.
Mm-hmm. So you're the high end of 129 as well. So
yeah, I had a lot of points. I was hitting really close shots. Seemed like every game something was supposed to fall.
Are you no? I mean, if it doesn't work out for you, you're going to look back at that one shot that you
that par 3 on Onse, 3 strokes for just falling down the hill and not being able to get up. Yeah, that hurt a lot.
And now Scanlon hitting into the hole. He's got to make sure he stays on this green. Staying safe right now is the most important thing for McClevich.
Oh yeah.
As he gets himself, he'll have eagle putt right there.
Excuse me. Trying to clear my throat there. Oh, Andy Haas just went for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he was looking for more. Does he have a chance to be high qualifier, or is that pretty much locked up forever?
So first off, I want to let you know, I think Gossett's pretty much there. He had 2 last good rounds, so we'll come back to that. But honestly, Gary Sheldon's only 19 after 16 right now.
Wow, okay.
And kind of sputtering around the stretch. I mean, even if he goes birdie eagle, he'll miss the cut.
Oh, wow. Okay.
22 on the last round. We'll do it in for Gary Sheldon.
Here's McCook here
McCook
on 17,
playing for,
a little wide on 17.
Yeah, nothing he really thought about. We'll. I want to see what McClevich does here. Important shot for McClevich.
Knowing Mouth, he's going to probably hit a 9 iron. All right there. He's going to put it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Put some bite on it. Try to just land in the middle and
Do you think he knows how important this is?
stay safe. He
probably
knows.
has an idea,
No
right?
idea. He probably just playing his game, and he's going to go high tees. He's just going to be safe just to get on.
I was going to say, he's thinking about it,
Yeah.
and he's going to be okay with it. Just gets over, and he'll have a putt. That putt to make the cut for the Golden Tee World Championship if he can get by with.
No, it's not settled yet. In other words, is everybody ahead of me done?
Let me announce, I'm good.
I think I was right with you.
Mouth
It's
is
going to knock him out.
justifying himself here, trying to figure out if he's going to make the cut.
I own him in the Calcutta. Should I dismiss it?
Yes, Mouth.
How much?
There we go.
How much do you need to get paid? I mean, are you that broke or what?
Yes. Yes. The answer to that is yes.
Mark McClevich.
Bad habits and bad decisions. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm sorry. No, he was. He's 24 after 16. He will have a putt for birdie.
Yes, that is correct.
Let's hope I extracted my mouth. I do that enough on word of mouth.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what all my comments are about.
Yes.
The old FMK comments,
Yeah.
all that stuff. It's basically to try to drop a couple strokes and invites. That's when
Yep.
I pull them out. I feel like I'm doing a service to the community there as he makes birdie.
He birdied 17, and it's like he'll be leading off 18.
I passed you for sure now, right? So a birdie, if I a birdie, I'm in.
You know you're going to go for it, Mouth. There's no layup in your vocabulary. So here's that look I told you about on 18.
And Justin Wilson just jumped you as well right now. I didn't get the update on McClevich, but that looks like it's going to be.
He did go for it.
Yeah, he went for it, and this is going to be just a simple putt for him.
Yep. Maybe a little chip.
I almost just did a front flip over there. And then I realized my back would snap in half.
Mark McClevich is going to make the cut, which was looking like to be a dicey morning for him. It's now turned into a pretty good day. He'll play for a world championship. Ryan McCook having also a fantastic day.
Three-putt this really quick.
So Mouth is going to have a good matchup tomorrow. He's going to be facing somebody running pretty good.
That might change it.
If you want to take his back out anymore right now, you're more than welcome to.
Yes.
So should I church this and try to make it?
I hope so.
Like
Yes.
a driver?
Should I give
Yes.
you 3-1?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, we're talking with McClevich over here. He's right now he needs to basically make par or better to get in. He right now would be the number 32 seed at a par, but he obviously is going to do that.
Birdie could put me up to like 30 then, right?
A birdie would definitely help your chances, yes.
Way higher?
Knowing him, he's probably got points, I would assume.
Yeah, well, I mean, birdie will put him higher. Eagle will put him into the middle of the mix right now. That puts him into the teens.
Well, we got a fan looking to see his
And
chip.
he makes
there
it.
He goes.
132. That's somewhere around the early 20s, late teens, and what turned into be just kind of a challenging afternoon for Mark McClevich. Now we'll go make a cut and go play for the World Championship tomorrow as we go over here to the 18th hole. Pine Creek, Chisholm Woodson to play his last shot of his first ever World Championship qualifier. As Mark McClevich comes over here.
Sorry, buddy.
Yes, you weren't the one who knocked me out. Don't be
A
sorry.
lot of history with Steve Puff Kramer and Mark McClevich.
Yes, yes. I do own 5% of Mouth in the Calcutta, so
Oh, he does?
Yes,
And I
yes.
own 50% of you in the company.
there you go.
And what? So is this just this is it?
There's looks like a couple
10
holes.
and 11.
Yeah, a couple
11
holes
and
down there too.
We have two machines left, machine 11 and machine 1. Finishing up the day, like I said, I don't think Adam or Andy Haas has ever been the last person to finish a qualifier, but it looks like it's going to be that way.
It's like he's about ready for bed.
Yeah, he's I don't know, somebody's going to give him a wild hair. Hey, do you want 2 through 500? Oh, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, where's David Keevan Unum, right?
Yeah. As Andy Haas hits his 9.5. And if you've seen
Same
what
spot,
these guys
yep.
have been playing, 9.5, this is the reason why you carry it on this course.
Yep. Every single time they're at the bottom, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for a chip. Chip or a putt.
Give yourself, and right there, Chush
Shush
City.
it right in.
Chush City. And Andy Haas just in primed and ready to defend a world championship in this building. He's won 2 here. As we get a little refresh in the update on the scores here. And Cam Eager looks like he's going to be the bubble guy at 130. So 130 was the number today to beat. It looks like Kevin O'Connor is finishing. He's actually probably halfway through his round right now, so he still has a little way to go. And I have to look down now just to make sure. Yeah, Wickstrom is still in this, so we have to keep an eye on Wickstrom. So Cam Eager's not going to be the guy, it looks
we
like.
We have Wickstrom, we got O'Connor. Anybody else down there with a chance?
Yeah, Kevin O'Connor, he's only 14 after 12.
Okay.
Interesting. That just made his qualifier a little bit more hairy. And looking down further a list, we have they're playing with Travis Leader, who's 14 after 11.
He actually had once. I think I looked last game. He had a chance if he would have picked up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, Stoll. I mean, he's 13 after 11 at 116 right now. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen for him. And just a lot of the guys that are here on Money Shot or maybe through the Last Chance qualifier from last night, Jamie White, Sean Anderson, an NIV guy for us for a lot of years.
And
he's
about 2 hours north of me up there in Crystal City. He plays with Aiden Cleary.
And just playing his first world championship and just felt great to be a part of that. Just some of the guys at the bottom here. Jamie White, this is his first first time he's ever played a world championship as we bring it here right back into the booth. Steven Puff Kramer.
Hey, how you doing?
I am the Alpha Chris Longino, and we're wrapping up our qualifier day. 33rd, just one guy out. Well, maybe a couple guys out. We still have a couple guys finishing
I don't mind
up
being
here.
top couple seed in purple. We'll see what happens and have a good time with it. And
yeah,
a lot of people down there. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, but also, I mean, but you're seated well. I mean, honestly, with this field and those guys at the bottom who are Neil Chapine, John Chavanek, John Cubs. These guys, are here, maybe on Money Shot or just based on the way they earned it. You're going to have a good shot at having maybe a little bit more of a comfortable first round. Would you say that?
Yeah, I would say that. That's fair to say. Typically, I'm, like you said, a bubble boy playing a really strong person the first game, so it'd be nice to have a little more relaxing game. But
So right now, as we're looking at it, Cam Eager right now is the bubble guy, but we still have one more course out there, Machine 11, Kevin O'Connor, Jason Wickstrom, Travis Leader playing together. And trying to see if they can get themselves in. Kevin O'Connor, 16 after 13.
So what'd you say? Give him another 7, 8 strokes, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I think it might be a little bit close for KOC. We'll see what happens here.
Yep.
As we're, like I said, the last machine out on the course right now. Today it was at 23. He had a 23 on Tropical. That's what's hurting KOC right now.
Tropical
Kevin
had
O'Connor.
a lot of very hard shutdown looks that if you went for it, if you don't have that 2-iron, it was tough. And
Well, you speak it specifically 11th hole.
Yes,
And
yes.
I think we'll have some guys taking it to the house and figuring out how to put a 2-iron super spin in their bag.
I was playing with Mr. Andy Fox, and he had the 2-iron, and I did not.
The
So
good ones
for me-
know.
For me, it was a couple layups, and
Yeah.
can't argue with those. I mean, if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
So now Cam Eager has moved down into the 33rd spot. Jason Elliott now.
Bubble boy.
Yeah. Now Jason Elliott looks to be the number 32 seed right now. And so right now this is an important next 10 minutes, next 15 minutes for Kevin O'Connor as he tries to make his first ever world championship cut. 4th world championship, has not made a cut yet in a world championship.
What is he going to need to shoot to get in?
As we look at it right now, he's 125 right now, 18 after 14. He needs to shoot clean the rest of the way.
Yep.
Has to be clean the rest of the way in order for him to get in. And so we're going to sign this off right now. We have just a couple more shots here with Stephen Kramer. I am Chris Longino. Happy to bring you the 2022 Golden Tee World Championship. Action starts 11 a.m. local time tomorrow. The Golden Tee World Championship will be decided, will be crowned tomorrow night. Please join us then. Thank you for watching.
Thanks all.
It's time! Drifting look here at the water. Get it! Oh, he put the hole in one. Ooh, comes down to the hole. Oh, my God. Nails the hole in one. Oh my! Oh, he missed it! What the hell do I know?
What do I know?
Wow! Can anyone stop the reigning, defending world champion, Whammy?
Mark Stenmark is your 2019 Golden Tee World Champion.
Off the waterfall, comes back towards the hole, 2-hop, off the retainer. He made that better.
Another sunrise in Sin City, meaning we are one day closer to the Golden Tee World Championships. It's been almost 3 years since the last Arcade Worlds event due to a global pandemic and rigid city restrictions. Finally, we will return to Las Vegas February 24th through the 28th for the mobile and arcade Golden Tee World Championship event. This year will be held at the Westgate, a throwback to the house that Ohio's Andy Haas built. Over the past 3 years, we have seen new faces rise to greatness on the National Golden Tee Tour, presented by Power Events, and we've seen former champions fade into darkness. For the next half hour, we'll be looking at some of the best players this game has to offer and learning about their quest for greatness.
My name is Paul Anthony Luna. I've been playing Golden Tee professionally since 2013.
Congratulations to Paul Luna, your 2021 Florida Open champion.
Well, Mark was great at holing out. I mean, when he needed it, he could hole out.
It's a little bit of a different game at the time, too. I mean, we were playing different shots, a lot of, and he aced that. Oh, my goodness.
Just as we talk about it, right?
Yeah, so if I had to describe the Golden Tee community in one word, it would probably be family.
He knows it. He knows it.
Consoling his competitor.
In the second Missouri Open win in the great career of Paul Luna.
I'm naturally a very competitive person. I've been playing video games my whole life, and Golden Tee is just another video game. If I had to name a rival, probably Andy Haas.
So they'll clean him up here, and
well
congrats
done,
to Paul Luna.
Just another amazing run.
Who is, he's
unstoppable.
At this point in time, Jason, you can't pick anybody but him.
This is probably going to be a soft 6-wood. Little thumb. This has got an opportunity to...
Oh, the Kobe missed.
Almost an ultra shot for the win.
This Worlds, I feel pretty confident. I've won 3 of the PUGT Tour events this year.
Paul Luna's year has been incredible. 3 wins, and without a doubt will be a force to reckon with in the World Championship.
The competition it's really tough. There's so many good players. I'd say this is the highest level of competitiveness that we've ever seen in Golden Tee.
No matter what level of GT he's playing, Paul Luna is a machine.
My first time playing in the Worlds event was in 2016. I actually ended up finishing second in that event, losing to Andy Haas, who is a 2-time world champion.
For the 2022 World Championship, we head back to the West Gate, also known as the house that Andy Haas built. $30,000 won between 2 World Championships. His last World Championship included one of the greatest championship performances of all time, where he had 2 hole-outs and a hole-in-one on his way to securing his second World Championship victory.
Andy Haas's first World Championship victory in 2008 took place at the very same location he now looks to become the first ever 3-time world champion in 2022.
In 2021, of the 7 tournaments he played in, 6 of them he finished in the top 3.
And when it comes to being a master of the trackball, nobody can continuously execute shots better than an Andy Haas who has music blasting in his ears, focusing on nothing else in the room but his game.
His style is very hard to emulate. He tucks his fingers while he uses his thumbs. Not very common amongst Golden Tee players. He is very lethal with those thumbs. And he is a danger to hole out at any time. Without a doubt, Andy Haas will be one of the favorites for this World Championship. In this World Championship, winning is not the most important thing for Andy Haas. It's the only thing for Andy Haas.
Right back.
Andy Haas, my goodness.
With the run. That's what we're talking about. He starts heating up.
We have 2 two-betters going on right now. I'm sorry.
My name is Andy Fox. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I play as Flying Train or Fox Force 5.
All right, low T, and he has gotten away. That's a little too much cook.
It's gotta hang, gotta hang.
Gotta stop.
Gotta hang.
And it is in the water.
It's fun. I love the competition. I love going up against the best players in the world. You know, sometimes you beat them, sometimes you don't, but it's super, super fun to compete against them. And I'm hoping to come out on top.
Andy Fox has remained one of the top Golden Tee players for over a decade for a few reasons. Anytime he gets into tournament mode, he is hungry and ambitious. His style is one of precision, and it's been so reliable for him for so long. He's one of the few players who can stay out of his own head while not being afraid to attack the pin in order to seize victory.
My favorite tournament moment of the year was winning the Wisconsin Open.
The game is over.
Andy Fox.
That's your champion.
Fox shots away. Oh, and he gets another one.
He changed the bite.
Takes 2 up.
Stuck it in the hole.
You see Andy Haas right there, just slightly dejected.
Whenever you can beat Paul Luna twice and Andy Haas once, that's like, I mean, it's a pretty difficult thing to accomplish. So I'm pretty proud of that.
Baby cut, low T, and a great shot almost in the hole.
I've been playing this game for 14 years, and all my friends that I have are from this community.
And this ends up tied. Playing that 8.5, and you gotta be right with that. And a great shot.
Wow.
Your margin for error heading into that green with that 8.5 is not great. If you're gonna hit an 8.5 on that hole, you need to make sure it's right.
I mean, I'm probably one of the guys that they are probably favored against, but they don't want to play. Like, you know, Andy Fox, you know, I could easily beat any of them. But we'll see, though.
There's an old saying that once you knock on a door so many times, eventually that door is going to open. That statement has never been more truer than for a guy named Joe Massera.
When it comes to repetition play like the daily contest, Joe Massera is one of, if not the very best at it. When it comes to head-to-head match play, for some reason there was always something preventing Joe from truly showing off his trackball skills. It was a barrier that was long overdue for smashing for Joe Massera.
The second Missouri Open win in the great career of Paul Luna.
And the fourth runner-up finish for Joe Massera.
3 runner-up finishes on tour, 2 second-place finishes at the World Championship. He was hungry for a victory, and that victory came at the Top Gun Player of the Year Championship in 2021. Oh, and we're getting the full going here.
Let's see it.
Let's see it, and it's on. Can it get in the hole? Oh my goodness, around the hole. A little bit of a baby cut, and it's a perfect, and almost in the hole to win the tournament. Your 2021 Top Gun Player of the Year, Joe Massera. Nobody has dominated daily contest and money shot more than Joe Massera. And now that he's found the key to unlock victory, can he carry that dominance into the World Championship? That's the question.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mark the Mouth McClevich. I have been playing Golden Tee since probably about 2003.
Oh, look at that. That was a beautiful one,
good save. Good
one
save
thumb
right there.
chip from Mouth.
Got really serious about it in the 2004 time. We had the first Maywood Park Challenge, and I didn't know. I saw it in the paper. I didn't know about the community of people behind it. Showed up there, and since then, it's been a whirlwind.
Oh, I like that. Oh, okay. All right, both these guys say, you know, and the thing that you don't realize until you get up close on this hole is how. Oh, that was a beautiful chip by Mouth.
I'm always confident. My body is failing me lately.
Wow. That was good. But Mouth, when Mouth gets shots like that, that's when Mouth gets fired up, and that's when he is at his most dangerous.
If you look at the average bangers, so if I was to rank myself, I always will say I'm in the top 10 bare minimum. I'm rarely out of the top 10 at tournament play when we're there. Could I come and win Worlds? Absolutely, I could come and win Worlds. Will it be a great time for everybody? Hell yeah, we're going to have a great time if I win Worlds.
My name is Evan Gossett, 2018 World Champ, and I've been playing Golden Tee for about 13 years. I feel confident. I don't think you can go into a tournament without having that confidence in yourself. And I think people put a lot of pressure and expectation on a few things.
I think Evan's going to go right at this. Oh, and this is going to be really good.
The former world champ has struggled with shaking off pressure during match play in recent years, but lately you can see him slowly regaining his championship confidence.
I don't know if I'm the favorite. There's probably about 3 to 5 guys that are probably top-notch favorites, but yeah, you never know. I mean, everybody has a good chance. You never know. Anything can happen on any given day. Well, I love the fact that we can win money playing Golden Tee. I love the fact that the competitiveness.
You know, Evan's probably not going to like to hear this, but I think one of the things that prohibits Evan from winning more tournaments is that he doesn't hole out probably as good as some of the other top players do. You know, from my
you're not wrong there.
Perception,
right?
No,
you're not wrong there.
You know, I'm not talking behind his back. I'd say it to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that maybe he could work on.
Different level. And how about for Evan Gossett to win the match, and he is just a few inches to the left.
It's a game of inches.
All right, my name is George Nicholas von Koschenbar. My Golden Tee name right now is Les Grossman, and I started playing Golden Tee in 2008 when I first turned 21.
George Von K may possibly be one of the best players to never win a major tournament.
At first, I think when you start qualifying some of these tournaments, the nerves hit you a lot because you're not used to the atmosphere. Hopefully this is my year to win one. Be my first big title. That'd be nice to win one finally after playing for about 10 years.
If you had a dark horse pick for this World Championship, George von Koschenbar might be that guy.
Well, this year is going to be a strong field, but I think I fit right around the top 10 of the qualifiers this year. My friend Paul Luna, who's probably won about 12 of these tournaments, I say I have a good rivalry with him, probably because I've never beaten him. Right now, he's the best player in the world. And I guess to be the best, you do have to beat the best, so.
My name is Clinton Grover, and I've been playing Golden Tee for about 8 years. Yeah, when people shoot lower scores, they become more competitive. And when you start getting more competitive, you want to play the best players in the world. And that's why you come to tournaments.
In a world where stout golf ball talk is all the rage, Clint Grover is the anti-hero the everyman is rooting for.
You know, I started playing with the buddies around home, and you know, when you start playing well there, you just want to see how good you can be.
Clint has to make this to stay alive.
2 mile-an-hour wind straight. He didn't hesitate. He liked it. Oh, wow.
I would say the last Worlds that we played, it was great. I ended up finishing third, and I felt like I had chances to even do better. Going into this Worlds, I feel good. My game, I'm playing well, but it's not another tournament either. It's the biggest stage, you know, and you want to do well. So.
His game is very simple. No stouts, no thumbs, just taking his left palm and hitting his spot almost 100% of the time.
I always like my chances. You know, I feel good about my game.
CJ Wengler is the future of Golden Tee.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. It's always good to hear that. Oh, look at that.
And there he goes.
CJ with the ultra shot.
CJ is going to be a factor in this World Championship. There's no doubt about it.
CJ is a bona fide rock star. He has a die-hard social media following both in and out of the world of Golden Tee, and he is on a rocket ship path to greatness. He is hungry, he is passionate, and he's ready to carve out his very own spot in Golden Tee history.
He hasn't been around long, but he is lethal, and he can beat anybody in the country. It will be a legitimate threat to win this Golden Tee World Championship.
Now this little plus spin shot, you can either play that or watch this. Yeah, it's going to be a backspin. Hard driving spin.
Coming back. Look at this.
And he nails it.
We're going to make this a close match. CJ was
Gets within one.
Some of the greatest thumbs in the game.
Wow, has he improved so much.
Look at Gervais just looking like, are you kidding me?
Those are just a few of the greatest Golden Tee arcade players who have ever lived. But there is a mountain of obstacles players must surpass in order to claim the title of world champion. The field is as strong as it has ever been, and any room for error is non-existent. The elite are constantly chasing the path to glory. Players like Ryan McCook.
I had a nice one bird on this one.
A one bird?
Yeah.
What is the point of having a one bird?
Wow.
That's a beautiful shot.
That is 2 hole outs for him. Wow, he's got
Ryan is not afraid of anybody in this field, and he can compete with anyone in this field.
Players like Chris Brewer.
That CJ match. And we knew it was close, so went to that solo, and now we're back on the Haas Brewer match.
And there we go. Slam dunk by Chris Brewer. He needed that.
Players like Jared Decker.
Good line. Yeah, there you go. Great line, great shot.
Players like Paul Taylor and so many others. Will we have our first ever 3-time world champion, or will a new face emerge and rise to greatness, cementing their place in history among the game's legends?